right, here we are. Another episode of Iron Sharpens Iron. I am here with my man LJ. And my man, this is the final week of your initial 6 weeks, isn't it?
Yep.
It's gone by quick.
Yeah, it's been quick.
It's been super quick, man. So, but you've been putting in the work. You've been doing a hell of a job, staying consistent and just, showing up and just hammering away, man. And so I'm excited to kind of dig into the specifics of what we have achieved up to this point. Before we do that, just kind of do a quick introduction, man. Like, who are you and what are your specifics?
Well, I'm LJ. What kind of specifics you want, I guess?
I don't know. What do you got going on, man? What do you do?
I worked as a commercial mason there for about 4 years, and I recently quit here a couple months ago to run my own little masonry company. That's been a huge change for me in everything in life. I'm a lot happier where I'm at as being my own boss, and I don't have all this added stress of working with people, so that's been good. I'm starting to build a reputation, and I love the work I'm doing. I married, been separated for a little over a year. We've got a couple of boys together. They take up a lot of time and energy, but I love them. Last year was a pretty rough year for me. That's why I joined the program.
Yeah.
Because I knew I needed to make a change, and I wanted to rebuild some confidence and get back in the game. So Fort's father was an easy decision for me.
Got it, man. And so, yeah, there are obviously a lot of big changes for you. And how old are you currently right now, LJ?
25.
You're freaking young, man. So, and how many kids do you got? You got one or two?
2 boys.
2 boys, man. That is crazy. I was still, like, going out and partying and doing the like mid-20s life thing when I was 25, man. So huge respect to you. And that is a huge step in itself, like breaking off from the comfort of like a job, working under a boss, being in a company like that and jumping out way outside of your comfort zone and starting your own company. So I know myself, because I was in that situation before. And when I jumped out and first started my gym, like a lot of scary shit is going on, man. And so I completely know what you're going through with that. But at the same time, like you said, you're happier being your own boss because it is your own thing. And so now you have more control with it, but it's not as easy, right? There's a lot of different hats you gotta wear, and
just a different kind of stress.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I mean, the stress and the hardships that you go through right now, it's just like anything. Like, you stick with it, you fight through, the tough times. Once you get to that point, I mean, everything that you've built at that, down the road is well worth it, man. It's well worth it, right? And so kind of go back to, I guess, before we started this program, man, like, where were you? What really got you, what was the leverage to push you forward, man? What was it for you?
Well, like I said, last year was a really rough year for me. 2018, that's when me and my wife got separated, and I thought I was gonna grow old with her and everything, and it really brought me down. And things at work got super stressful. Our boss was making terrible decisions, and he was taking it out on us, and so it was a lot of things that were really weighing me down. And I was a star athlete in my high school, and I was a freaking stud. And if you look at my attitude and my drive and everything from high school to last year, I'm just a completely different person. And I miss that a lot,
Mm-hmm.
being the stud and um, being the star athlete. And I just want to get back to a point where I can feel good about myself again, because just everything I was going through just brought me down, and
Yeah.
have a lot of hope and stuff.
Yeah.
But I knew working out and getting back in shape would help me rebuild that confidence and get back to a better spot.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of times it's easier said than done, because when you're in the pit, you have a whole different perspective. You have a whole different outlook on what the hell's going on, right? Like, you're in a pit, you're in pain, shit isn't going right.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to say to yourself, like, oh, I got this, right? And so, like, I remember that initial conversation that we had. You were in a really bad place, and you took the initiative, you took the step forward, you've stepped out of that pit, so to speak. And so here we are now. Like, what are the positives? What are some of the wins that we've experienced over, the last 5-6 weeks, man?
Yeah. So changing my diet has been huge. I feel so much better at work, and I have more energy to play with my kids after work. I wake up early, I go to bed early, and that's been a big change for me. And just transforming my body, trying to get it back to where it was. I'm already seeing the results, and I love it. And I'm starting to rebuild that confidence. And yeah.
Like, it's interesting when life does throw us curveballs, and it hits us upside the head and throws us off course. Usually that's one of the first things to go, is the physical side. Like, we stop being as active, because we are stressed and we got all these different things to worry about. And when we lose that, it starts to trickle over into the mental side. And so we find ourselves in that situation where we lose that edge. Like, you talk about, like, the old athlete that you used to be, like, you were a stud. Like, what sports did you play, man?
I was big into football and track, but I did everything: baseball, basketball, football, track. Did a little wrestling. Yeah.
Where did you go at? Where did you go to high school?
I went to Tri-County. It's a Class C school in South, down by Beatrice.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
You did all the sports. You were active, and back then it was easy because, high school, it's just like, you're an athlete. It's easy to go to practice. It's easy to go lift weights and be active. And then, you have kids, priorities shift, and then boom, like, we lose that side of things. And so no, go ahead.
I had to grow up, man. It was a huge change.
Yeah. So here we are, 25. We essentially lost that, but now we're making gains back in the right direction. So, more energy, better connection with those kids. Now you're getting out playing with your boys. You're feeling better on the job. We've started to see the changes in your physique. I see in the workouts you're pushing hard. We're making progress there. And we're starting to get that edge back. We're starting to get that confidence back. Right. And so between now and before, what were the big barriers that were holding you back, man? Like, what do you think was, the invisible ropes, so to speak, that were in our way, holding us back?
Well, I'm going through divorce right now. That was a big thing. Time management. I was always super tired, and I didn't want to get on and enter my the food I was eating. Like, that was I know it doesn't take long and stuff, but I struggled to make the time to do that, because I got home, I'd eat, and I'd just play with the kids for a little bit, and then I'd want to go to bed.
Yeah.
So that was a little hard for me. Lost you.
It's all good. I got you.
Good. Okay. Where was I? For working out, I had no problem with that because I had a blast. It was like high school again. Eating right's tough. But I think the biggest thing's all about finding the healthy foods and making them taste good.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty important because you don't just want to eat stuff that doesn't taste good all the time. That's just makes it extremely difficult, and there's no way you're going to make a change doing that. Yeah.
We've been able to improve on time management. That's become a little bit better for you. You've gotten into a new routine. We're obviously making like your physical fitness a priority again. So that's in turn, obviously helped you. And then you mentioned like the nutrition, like, has that gotten better for you?
Better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's way better. I've lost, I think I'm eating more, and I've lost about 10 pounds in the 6 weeks. So, it's hard on the weekends if I go and hang out with family because they're cooking home cooked meals and all that. But during the week when I'm on my own, it's easy to do that because I'm finding a lot of foods that taste good and that are healthy. So
yeah, that's important, man.
Yeah.
So aside from all this stuff, like the training, obviously getting back into the groove with the training, what are some of the big, I guess, personal breakthroughs or takeaways that you've had up to this point, man?
Well, I mean, just getting that confidence back is huge. And I know it's from working out and eating right. So, I mean, every time I try to eat bad now or I stop working out, I'm going to be thinking you're going to bring yourself back down. And if you want to stay positive and stay happy, you have to keep working out and you have to keep eating right. So I think it was just kind of a slap in the face. Hey, you got to start doing this or your life's going to suck.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably the biggest thing for me. Yeah.
So basically the leverage that you've created through getting physically fit again. So it's interesting because your mindset has shifted. Like you said, like when you start eating shittier foods, it's like, okay, now you have that voice in the back of your head saying, this isn't going to help push you forward. This isn't going to help change things. It's only going to make it worse. And so when you create that leverage and that awareness, that kind of help. That definitely shows a shift in overall, just I guess, priority, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I associate the pain with the bad foods and not working out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important to recondition yourself is to associate pain with the negative things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's interesting because guys they'll be in that position that you were in before, 6 weeks ago, before you even started. They'll stay there because they're in a different state of mind. They almost talk themselves out of doing anything, right? Because it is hard. And that's like the hardest time to actually step forward. It's like you got all these negative forces pulling you back. And you're just thinking about, the shit that you're going to have to do. and it's tough. And so when you do take those steps forward, you start to have that overall shift, and then the momentum is on the other side, right? And so we got the momentum rolling forward, and
Right.
now to stop would be harder than to just continue to move forward because you've made all these positive changes, right? So
Yeah.
that's an important way to look at it, man. But dude, it's been good having you in. I'm happy to see the progress that you've made. I couldn't even imagine, there's other guys that have gone through the program, have been split, have gone through divorces. I couldn't even imagine what that's like. I wouldn't want to imagine. And with that being said, like, just a huge amount of respect and appreciation goes out to you for sticking with the program, man. Because I know it wasn't easy. Definitely wasn't easy. And I'm happy that you were a part of the brotherhood and created new bonds and friendships in the gym, man. And so I hope that continues to push you forward.
Yeah, definitely. I've enjoyed it, and it was definitely a good decision on my part to make that take that step. So happy about it.
Yeah, buddy. And just like anything, I mean, there are no quick fixes out there. The instant gratification that everybody is after, it's a pipe dream, man. And so, I mean, rebuilding your body, getting that confidence back, it's going to be a process. And once you get there, you got to maintain it, right? Like, you got to continue to push forward with that. And in regards to like your business, like your new business, it's the same way. It's like you're building a foundation and you want to make this thing great. It's going to take time, right? So we're able to apply like all the different principles to all these other areas. And I'm looking
Right.
for the success that you bring with your business and the continued success that you bring with your physical, mental self, man. So,
Yeah.
keep chipping away and crushing it, brother.
Yeah, we'll do.
Awesome.